Hi, I'm Uncle Matt Finch, and this is the cleaned up version of our 5th edition D&D live stream, which we broadcast at 6 p.m. Central on Mondays on Twitch TV. And the link for that is twitch.com/UncleMattDND. And hopefully you'll also take a moment to subscribe to this YouTube channel and support us there. And also, we have a Patreon. Hopefully you'll throw a couple of dollars in that direction. That is at patreon.com/Jordoba, Jordoba. And with that, let's take a look at what's going on in the adventures so far.
And with that, I will go ahead and brief everybody on the adventure. So what happened last time was that you guys went adventuring into the dungeons under the old city of Jordoba, and along the way, Albrecht, the architect, discovered an interesting feature of the floor in one of the rooms, began digging, managed to get down an entire level, get cut off down there, and then when everyone came to the rescue, they discovered that they were in a hidden temple of the god, the evil sea god Thalasskoptis. There was a combat initiated by Ian, which led to almost a complete slaughter of the party, immediate retreat. But they did manage to get out and have now come back to the city. Now, in that negotiation immediately prior to the battle itself, Albrecht handed to the priestess of Thalasskoptis his letter of introduction to the Architects Guild. And that was what really tripped things off when they said, kill them. And so everyone fled. But the thing is, you fled leaving Albrecht's letter of introduction behind. So there is that. And now Ian Curzum has been called over to the Church of Mitra. And the rest of you tag along. And the priest says, Curzum, it's good to see you again. We'd like to thank you for your service in rescuing that bard on behalf of the Minstrels Guild. And so you did a good enough job on that we've got another job for you. We need you to find and locate a person called Albrecht the Architect and protect him.
Oh, no problem. I'm actually experienced in that area.
Okay, so yes, we'll pay you 100 gold pieces to locate and guard this Albrecht the Architect, because we've heard that an order has been placed by the priesthood of Thalasskoptis quietly that there is a bounty on his head of 500 gold pieces.
So it's 100 to protect him and 500 to find him?
Well, we don't know. Only if you turn him into the priesthood of Thalasskoptis, which, of course, you're forbidden from doing on account of they're an evil god, and we're not.
Oh.
So 500 gold to no.
Yeah, 500 gold pieces is the reward that the priests of Thalasskoptis have put out, and so. Yes, apparently he gave away, he was involved in stealing some sort of religious item from them, and they have a document that has his name on it, so they know who he is because of that document. And so, people are looking for him. They're also looking for his compatriots as well. But
my divinations told me that this fellow returned items to them. That's strange.
Returned items. I don't know. They're saying that he's in possession of some thing that they wanted. Okay, now so aside, that's going to be that bowl, which you got back from them. So you do have the bowl.
We got that back. I thought they had
it over. Yeah.
Listen,
okay.
We'll take it. That's worth clearly 5 gold.
I know we originally had it and then gave it to them in the great like butter plate and myrrh scandal. And then those ones all fought over the butter. And then I think we had it. I don't remember if we ever gave it back. I was unconscious by that point, so really my memory's kind of
We gave it to our buddy, who then gave it to the priestess.
Yeah, the survivor of the Fish Thunderdome.
Okay.
But I may have picked it up on the way out. That would be like me.
No, okay, no. If you didn't have it, then they're just looking for you guys because you know the location of the temple. So that there's no problem. So they just don't know why they're looking for Albrecht. Okay, so
They need a good architect.
Yeah.
They're having a ceiling malfunction.
That's right. They want to add some stones over the top of their secret entrance. So anyway, yeah, the four of you guys do know the location of the secret entrance to a secret temple, and apparently the priesthood is taking that badly and has decided to eliminate you. This is still me talking, not the priest of Mitra. So he says, now we've been looking into this a little bit, and we do know where the bounty is coming from. It's a place down in Tapeworm Alley. It's some sort of cult headquarters that they have down there that is hidden behind a legitimate business of a fish skin parchment manufactory, where they make parchment out of fish skin somehow. So now entering, we had a member of the Thieves Guild sort of take a look around a little bit, and he's got some information that we can give you about what all is going on with this area, and in terms of long-term protection from this Albrecht fellow, you might also want to look into that area down there. We'll eventually be able to send somebody down in there, but that will be quite a while because the group that we would normally use for tasks that are difficult and require a lot of intelligence are outside of the city right now. So we're going to go to you guys.
That's a bugbear.
Oh boy, we're the C team.
So, do you have any questions?
Does this pay up front? And how much expenses will you cover?
Well, we'll pay up front, and if you're actually going after that temple down there, we'll cover your expenses up to 100 gold pieces.
All right. I think we're going after the temple then.
Okay. Well, what can I tell you about what what you would want to know? So first off, he says I am going to try and switch my camera for a moment, and that is going to have the effect of skewing the screen sideways a little bit, so nobody panic when that happens. But what it does is it lets me switch over. Okay, so he holds out a piece of parchment in front of you, and he says, okay, so here is 2 seconds. I've got the wrong map over here. All right, so he says here are stairs, and they lead down into a part of Tapeworm Alley. So here's Tapeworm Alley, sort of like this, going along. And he says this is where the door into the fish parchment manufactory is located, relative to this stairway over here. Can you guys see that well enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now there may be, so it's we know that there's some sort of complex back in here. There are a couple things we know. There is an office basically here. There is a door. There is a desk. And there's a person here at that desk, but also, and he looks at his notes from the thief, and he says, okay, so the problem with this is that there's also an ogre guard that's in this room. So, and the door is apparently iron, very strong, and a password is required to get in. Then on the far side of that, our thief did penetrate a little bit further. This is the manufactory floor. And here things get a little sketchy. There are 3 doors here, here, and here. 1 door here. We know that this is where workers come from, and the workers are basically being held captive there. We know that this is where there is some sort of storage of equipment. He did get through to this room, which has another door, and this room is where the parchment is kept for sale before they ship it out. And we know that deliveries of the fish come through this door here. This, by the way, is north. Okay. We also know, as a result of a raised dead spell that was done some months ago, that some unknown distance from all of this, there is a sacrificial chamber in this area, and it looks like this. There is a drowning well here, which is used, it's a sea god, so the sacrifices go into the drowning well. There's also some sort of spout here where sewer water comes down from the surface and falls down into the drowning pool as well. We don't know where that spout comes from or where the drowning well goes to. And that was really all that our person from the Thieves Guild was able to find out for us.
Can you slide your map south?
That way?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that drowning room wasn't on there. Okay, so try and center that. I see a mirror image of it. It says, okay, that's turned right.
What kind of people did the thief see in there? Like what species?
Humans. He said something about some sort of fish person, but for the most part, humans. Now, of course, in a large complex like that, there are going to be ways in. The most likely one is that deliveries of fish, because those have to come from somewhere. They might be coming from Tapeworm Alley, but it's the door's sort of pointed in the wrong direction. So most likely that those are deliveries of fish that are coming from the surface somewhere in the neighborhood over the top, which is of course part of the Grim Quarter. So given the fact that breaking in through the front, Tapeworm Alley, looks like it would be highly dangerous if you all tried it, because you'd be fighting past an ogre and a human and then fighting with whatever guards there were on the manufactory floor. Sneaking in somehow from another direction would probably be the best way to go about it.
What condition were the slaves in?
Not horrible. I mean, we could cast another Raise Dead. We'll do not Raise Dead. We'll cast another Speak with Dead, and let you speak with the thief and ask your questions. And so he gets on and hold on a second. All right, so let me switch back here. Going back to, if y'all have seen the picture enough, and I can switch it back when you want to see it again. So okay, so he casts a spell, lights sort of rise up, and you're all infused with the power of Mitra, and he takes the map that he's just given you, and he puts his hand on it, and he says, "Speak with dead." And then a voice comes out of the map, and it says, "Yes, I can hear you."
Whoa.
Did you die in the drowning chamber?
No, I died when I was captured. The person who died in the drowning chamber was someone else. The voice seems to be coming from the piece of paper.
Where were you captured?
I was captured in the parchment room, just beyond the manufactory floor. And then they took me back to the manufactory floor.
This isn't a question, but I think they made him into paper.
Fish parchment, that's what they do there.
How many slaves were there?
I think about 10. It's a bit hard to tell because they'd come in and out through the worker door, which I never tried to sneak past the worker door.
Were they chained?
No.
Did they appear to be beguiled in any way?
No.
Who caught you, dude?
But they were most definitely under guard when they were working.
So how many guards besides the big ogre dude were there?
Well, in the manufactory, there were 2 guards. There were also a couple of cultists, and there was a fish thing.
I'm assuming you went through the main door when you got in. Did you have the password? What was the password?
I didn't hear the password. I was invisible, and I sneaked through when somebody else opened the door. But I wasn't close enough. When they did that, I had to dive through. Your speak with dead time is beginning to run out, says the priest.
What business is directly next to that parchment manufactory?
You mean in Tape Worm Alley?
Yep.
It's actually it's a residence that's next to it. I didn't check that out. Sort of across the street and a little way further down is the nearest business, and that's a tavern.
Were any of the workers, or I guess not the slaves, but the people in the manufacturer, the guards, known to outside of the area?
No.
Okay.
The voice is starting to get a little thinner and more ethereal.
Thanks.
I don't have any questions. I just think it's a really bummer way to go, dude.
Thank you. Yes, just
really hope you find peace in the afterlife.
Ask around about fish to find them in the Grim Quarter, and then his voice fades away. The little sheet of paper rustles for a moment and is still.
That's pretty awesome.
What do you do?
I think we have to head to the Grim Quarter.
And ask about fish.
Yeah. I mean, we know where it is, and probably wouldn't hurt to find out where the delivery thing is, but I kind of like the idea of, like, finding out who lives in the residence right next to them and just, like, digging our way in. Because that's...
Yeah, well, offering them a remodel.
Yeah, and architectural services. I'm, like, really good at feng shui, guys. It's, like, one of the things I do.
Albrecht is really good at breaking things, like walls.
That is the first step to constructing a thing. Have you not heard?
Oh, dude, it could be one of those, like, home remodeling shit, like, things where we just show up and we offer them like a free home remodel if they come back in like 2 weeks, and they're super surprised by all the changes we've made to the house.
Yeah, that's a recent fad that's shown up in the theater in Jordoba. Is doing a theatrical production of changing people's houses. So far, the difficulty, though, has been actually getting the stuff back into the house from the theater.
We'll be property dwarves.
Of this thespian endeavor.
All right. Is that the sum total of your plan, and you're ready to go?
I feel like I gotta see this place before.
Yeah,
let's scope it out first before we commit to any wild and crazy
I think we
Jordabas.
check out the Grim Quarter and then do a walk by down Tapeworm Alley.
I hope we don't run into any of our friends from the ogre bar.
Well, why don't we could? I'm not worried about that.
I guess the only characters that were there that weren't in slug suits are dead, so it doesn't really matter.
We still have slug suits.
No, you
we gotta be
don't.
pretty ripe at this point.
Yeah, you were not. It's not like you skinned them gracefully and turned them into anything usable.
We could reacquire slug suits.
It's kind of like Luke getting to the new Death Star and being like, "Well, I still have my Tauntaun, right?"
He did.
Oh, I do. I bring my Mastiff, which I actually do own.
He might help us smell fish around, you know?
Yeah, let me need to just find y'all's miniatures and
Go grab
I think we're gonna need a wagon.
so what is it that you guys are gonna do? Fill me in on what this here plan is.
We're gonna head to the. Oh, go ahead.
We need to purchase some hunting traps. And some cheap cigars.
You left Albrecht's trap
And some
behind
oil.
in the watery room.
So is our first goal going to be check out the property next to the factory, or are we going to search for the fish first?
I think the fish, right? Because it's start on the top and then work our way down.
All right.
Okay, do that.
So what is it? You're gonna go into the Grim Quarter and ask around, or are you gonna go check out the office and the nearby stuff?
We're gonna do the Grim Quarter first, but actually, I think we want to purchase some items first.
Okay.
Is there anything?
Get my supplies back that I had, more or less, and bring my dog with a muzzle.
All right. All right. So let's do this. I need to go get the Mastiff figure, and so you guys can make your plan. I will be back in a couple of minutes once I negotiate my way to the kitchen and find the Mastiff figure.
Okay. So it's a place where they sell paper or cloth.
Parchment.
Parchment. They manufacture paper.
Right? And they've got people back there in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my thought was to free the slaves and have them fight with us.
I mean, my feeling is the most important thing is the guards. Who's there, you know?
Yeah.
And that we can't really figure out unless we go. Now,
I was also thinking we might be able to be, like, I don't know where they get their workers/slaves from, but we might be able to get picked up as like a fish parchment crew work slave person.
We might not have our weapons.
Do we have any deception at all, or any skill other than?
I've got
killing?
deception.
I'm great in exterminating.
Take point on that.
I have.
It worked so well last time.
And
I think getting in with the fish is probably the easier path, if slightly stinkier.
I was really excited to do a home improvement show, Jordoba.
That could also
Trading
work, and
spaces.
it does really fit in well with our skill set, which is breaking
shifting
things.
bubbles.
Collapsing walls is something we're particularly good at.
I think that's a good plan B. I have masonry skills.
I'm really just an exterminator, but you know, whatever. Elves are good with leaves and shit.
So what are we thinking? I think scope it out on top. We want a couple more traps. I have an ashtray for our new trap.
Well, just in case we need to arm and get the slaves to fight with us, maybe we should pick up like some cheap daggers or something. Just because they're probably not armed. The least we can do is give them a butter knife or something.
Well, clubs.
Or clubs. You know, whatever's cheapest that we can afford.
But
A cart full of clubs.
Well, whatever we can smuggle in a little bit easier.
dog can carry some.
Just put a bunch of weapons on the dog and send him in.
But Albrecht, with the ashtray and some cheap cigars, we can attempt to pull off a smoky knoll.
Ah, a smoky knoll. Of course.
Oh, I haven't heard of anybody pulling off a successful smoky knoll in quite some time.
Yeah, but who's gonna be underneath the mastiff?
I'm willing to do that part.
All right. So, we need to know if there are knolls in the city. Because if
Of
there
course
are,
there are. We saw one.
okay. So, are they often on fire?
Not to begin with.
That's good.
That's the maneuver. You get it to the smoky knoll.
That's the thing. We need to put the mastiff on your shoulders, wrap a overcoat around you both, set you both on fire, and then you could just come in and you're like, smoking knoll, and then that's the option. And you can carry anything you want in under the overcoat.
I remember it differently, but
Yeah, I mean, you might remember it wrong.
I probably do. But I survived it the last time we pulled it off, so.
When was the last time you did a smoky knoll?
It was, three Tuesdays 2 years ago from mid-March?
Yeah, so, it's changed since then.
It might have.
How in your day?
Wait, are you talking about a smoky knoll or an incandescent bugbear? Because what you shouldn't be describing is something entirely different.
Which one? The one that had the ashtray and the cigar.
I thought that was an incandescent bugbear.
Maybe I have it wrong. Thank you.
It's been quite some time.
It had, and sometimes those maneuvers, I know we all went to school and learned them, but
because a smoky knoll, like I said, is very, very difficult.
It is, but almost assuredly successful if it can be pulled off correctly.
Well,
Matt, you're muted.
I was going to say, Allah, this is why elves and dwarves don't get along.
No, this is killing me on the inside.
Okay, so where is it that you guys are heading first? Are you going to go take a look down in Tapeworm Alley, or you're going to go to the Grim Quarter?
We want to get supplies first.
Okay. Add any supplies that you're getting. Subtract any money that's requisite.
Does anybody need anything, and I can cover it?
Did we get a head count on the number of slaves approximately?
He said
10.
approximately 10.
Okay. I'm going to buy approximately 10 daggers.
Okay.
To arm the slaves for our eventual takeover.
We have 2 longswords and a
But
spear.
longswords are big and heavy and difficult to get into places, whereas you can have a whole bandolier of daggers under your trench coat, under the mastiff.
The master's going to be in the trench coat?
Well, only when we pull the knoll. We're not going to start
only
out.
if we pull off the
Start
incandescent
out
bugbear.
with the mastiff in a trench coat. Are you crazy?
All right. Well, I mean, that's why I guess the incandescent knoll is one of the hard maneuvers to do.
What?
Well, finding an appropriately disgruntled-looking mastiff is actually the trickiest part of the entire operation.
You've got the mastiff.
That's why it's even on the table.
We have the ashtray.
And the
Which
mastiff is
also on
looking
the table.
more and more disgruntled by the moment.
A sturdy ashtray is crux in this maneuver.
Well, you have one, right?
Yes. I bought it from a very friendly halfling.
Okay. So, you buy equipment? Anything particularly unusual that you need a price on? Okay. Where do you go? Grim Quarter or Tapeworm Alley? Because you do know a stairway into Tapeworm Alley that does not directly take you through the Grim Quarter, or you could go through the Grim Quarter to those stairs. Either way.
Do we want to ask around the fish?
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
ask
so
around
Grim
for
Quarter.
fish suppliers.
Okay.
Let's just walk around and watch for a bit.
Being totally not inconspicuous group of dwarves talking about maneuvers.
All right. So
Dwarves.
let me go down.
There's a price on my head, so I'm going to have my
Shave your head.
just make sure my Mastiff is well aware that it's, the thing that the Mastiff no doubt knows about, where I'm periodically chased by people who want money for killing me.
Yes.
We're doing that today, Lucy.
Well, actually, the Mastiff is more familiar with people chasing you because they personally want to kill you. Hired killers are actually kind of new in its experience. And yours. You've hit the big time now, Zach. So pull this camera down a little bit, see whether I can manage to get it roughly pointed at where I'm going to be. That is not too bad. Let me see if I can. All right, cool. So you guys head into the Grim Quarter. And so let's sort of do the streets that you're going by. And so there's a street, and here you are in the Grim Quarter. There's one alleyway going off to the right, that direction, and then stepping forward just a little bit, there's another alleyway that goes down that way, and then the street goes forward, and when you go forward, you find yourselves in a sort of a market square type of place. And so we're going to just sort of stand you here. How's our picture look there? Can't even tell. All right. So bring myself up to here, and what we're going to do is I'm going to show you most of this, unless we get into some sort of crucial situation. We're going to do most of this on paper, since you'll be sort of moving around a fair amount. Oh no, I've lost my dead thief. Okay, there it is. So you walk forward into this square, and it's the Plaza of Worms. All right, so you're in the Plaza of Worms, and here is basically what it looks like. Let me switch over my camera. Here is my picture. Y'all let me know if I get off the area that the camera can see. You came in through this street. The street here, pretty much. Street goes onward, so do you. Then the Plaza of Worms is all one building on this side with a door, okay? And then there's a building over here, door here, little street, door here, door here, and then it ends like that. There's a door door here. And then the alleyway sort of goes down this way. Okay, that all visible?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
What these buildings are, as far as what you can tell about them, the one that's immediately, let's see, okay, are you done looking at this? And I should switch it back to me?
Sure.
Okay. Somebody might want to take a screenshot of that or something. Okay. All right. So device settings and back to me. And here we go. And am I back or am I completely gone? There I am. Okay. So the building that is off to your left coming in here, and that is also going to be the west, reeks of fish. And over the door, up toward the north, right at the corner of the square, there's a sign over the top of it that says fishmongers. And then directly across from you, there's that other door leading to the north, and that one has got a sign over it that says Javar's Fat Rendering. And that's also got its own pleasant smell wafting out from it. The door, and then there are two doors off to your right, as well as the little alleyway that leads back there. The first of those two doors has the sign Apothecary over it. And then the next one down on the far side of the square from you just has a caduceus with a red and a blue band coming down from it. So that's a barber or a doctor or something like that. So you're in the Plaza of Worms. You've got two different alleyways leading out. Oh, and then right next to you, there is a door in that door heading toward the south in the building that's right directly to your right. Appears to be just some sort of general merchandise store selling things. They have two shrunken heads in the window.
There's a clear, obvious choice here, but we should go check out the shrunken heads.
I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's probably worth seeing if the fishmonger has any idea who they're selling the fish to, or do you think it's just like a secret fish shoot or something?
So there are various people walking around in the square. Most of them are human. There are a couple of very misshapen-looking goblins that are carrying things here and there. There are one or two orcish mercenaries swaggering by with long scimitars. The guy who is in the store sees the elf ranger looking in the store window, and he pops his head out, and he says, "These are the finest shrunken heads you'll find in the Grim Quarter."
How much for a shrunken head?
Well, it depends on the quality of the shrunken head. These are extremely high-quality shrunken heads.
I don't know.
Does that mean they're all the same price?
Yes.
Then can you answer the question? How much
I suppose.
head?
I suppose so. For a shrunken head, it would be 10 gold pieces. Special today.
I've only got 4.
2 for
But
15 gold pieces.
Are these like the only shrunken heads in the store, or are there like more in the back? Because
well, there might be some more in the back. Depends on what sort of shrunken head you're looking for.
What differentiates the shrunken head?
Sorry, what?
What differentiates a shrunken head? Like, how can you tell the good ones? I mean, when might I need one kind of shrunken head as opposed to another?
Well, the preparation of shrunken heads requires lots and lots of artistry. Heads don't shrink themselves.
Are they flammable?
Some of them. If you stuffed them with something that was flammable.
But, I mean, like, are they... They're not flammable unless I make it flammable, though, is what you're saying?
Yes. But they can be flammable. They can also be non-flammable if you don't stuff them with something. They're very versatile, shrunken heads, usable for all kinds of things.
What tiny creature did you make them out of?
This one's a halfling. This one's a monkey.
Wow.
They look the same.
Pretty much, yeah.
Do they grant wishes?
Do they grant wishes? The monkey one does. He takes it off the little rack and he says, yes, this one grants wishes.
That's a horrible curse. Who would want that thing?
Only for a limited subset of wishes, which include wanting to own a monkey head.
Little dudes, I don't know. I kind of need this monkey head right now.
Cheap at the price. Look, it matches your clothing. The hair color, it goes with that elven cloak.
Dudes, we might need this.
It kind of smells like. It smells a little bit like fish.
What?
That's because of the neighbor, and the fish smell will go away quite shortly. You can mount them on the top of a helmet. You can turn them into a really large belt buckle.
Ooh.
You can put it on your shoulder so that it looks like an insignia of power. And let me tell you something. In the Grim Quarter, if you're walking around, when you're 3 dwarves and an elf, you could do with a couple of shrunken heads.
Are the lips sewn shut?
Yeah.
Oh, that's disappointing.
You can cut the thread.
But I don't want to damage it.
It makes the resale value just.
Dudes, it's cool. I'm just gonna buy this with my own money because it's really speaking to me spiritually, not through its mouth, because its mouth is, sewn shut, but it's spiritually speaking to me. Also, I hear that there's like a flaming goblin maneuver. We should totally try.
Clearly.
And I feel like we need this.
We actually know that one.
In your choice.
All right.
Who wants to be the middle of that totem pole, though, for the flaming goblin?
He hands
I'm better
over
as the
the
base.
shrunken head.
Do you have a moister one?
Moister? It's not as small as the others.
It's on my character sheet now.
Okay.
No take backs.
Take off 20 gold.
20 gold? What? I thought it was 10 gold.
You upped your price.
Yeah. What the hell?
All right. 10 then.
All right.
I thought you said 5 gold.
No, 10. But for an additional 10 gold pieces, I'll throw in a gold covered pauldron. So you'll have like a big old piece of armor that you can hook that onto, and then it'll look like you've got like a shrunken head on a big piece of shoulder armor.
Oh man, that's too gaudy for the Grim Quarter. We'll look like total tourists.
That's probably true. Did you want me to bring the moisture one out from the back?
No, I don't know unless that's my little dude one.
I'd like to see the moisture one.
Okay. So he says, all right, well, I'll have to lock up for just a moment because I can't leave anyone in the store. And he closes the door and he locks the door.
Bro, you don't trust us? We're like totally friends now.
And he walks back. You guys do anything while he's in the back? Okay, he comes back and he's got a head. It's a human head about half size normal.
Is it moist?
Well, yeah, it's been in a vat shrinking.
So
do you take that out with your bare hand?
Sure. He holds up his hand. It's about half normal size.
So what? I mean, I feel like I need.
They don't have OSHA
with
requirements on head shrinkers. The story I don't know the story.
Yeah.
I buy the shrunken heads along. You all of my supplies and things I purchase. I get the shrunken heads. I get the fish oil from the fishmonger over there. I get the rendering fat from the fat rendering Javars over there, and then the special herbs and spices. Of course, I can't tell you where I get them from because then you'd be able to shrink your own heads, and I don't need the competition. By your own heads, I mean ones that, not the ones that are on your heads right now. Because
clearly, an artisan of serious mind.
What's your name?
My name?
Yeah.
War. I am Iswar the head shrinker.
You were named really well.
I was.
I think that bit might be more of a title.
It's a family business, or I used to be.
That's nice. We understand that legacy business thing. That's,
Tradition.
Yes.
Just as an aside, I wonder if this is the rogue. What's
Allah.
It didn't get made into paper.
Could be.
Wait, the monkey?
No, the moist head.
How much do you want for the moist head?
Well, it's not done yet.
I know, so it's not worth as much. You haven't put as much labor into it.
Well, but I mean, I can't just. It's not done yet. It's like I can't let it out into the world until it's finished. It would reflect poorly on me.
We won't let him know it's you.
It's not only that, but it's for a performance art piece.
Is there like a competitor you don't like? We could tell it's from them.
Oh. Well, that's
and
actually.
And then we could show off your monkey head, and we're like, oh, like, but this is this guy's work, and it's like super good.
Okay, well, actually, now that I think about it, this is probably a head that I wouldn't mind getting rid of in unfinished anyway, because when you. It's got a Thieves Guild tattoo behind the ear, and that's the kind of thing that you could get in trouble with the Thieves Guild for it. So,
all right. So slandering your competition, that'll be 10 gold.
We're like really good at it, man. And you know what? We make this Thieves Guild problem go away.
It does. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'll sell it to you for a gold piece, and you tell everybody that you got it from Maladar.
All right, so you're giving us a gold piece in the head, and we'll tell everybody it's from
Maladar?
Maladar?
You're giving me a gold piece for the head, because, I did buy it. I paid, several silver pieces for it before I didn't notice the Thieves Guild tattoo. So if I want to make a profit, you'll have to pay me a gold piece for it.
This
okay.
Getting worse.
Okay, so he hands over the moist head of the former thief.
Sack. I hold the sack open.
Okay, he drops it in there. Always using the hand that's half-sized to touch the stuff.
Oh.
I cannot picture Nat's little tiny hand.
Oh, like, that fish smell. How do you deal with that fish? How do you deal with that fish smell?
What fish smell?
It's How often are they in and out of there like that?
Fish comes in, usually in the mornings when the fishermen come in and load up at the wharfs, and then they get, whole, huge amounts of it, and then they have a specialty. They sell skinned fish at the fishmonger, where it's been pre-skinned so that you don't have to scale it, and but you get used to the smell. I mean, I can't even smell it anymore.
What do they do with the skin?
I have no idea. I mean, sure they just dump it.
Dump it where though? Like you see them leaving with cart? That must be a lot of fish skin.
I don't know. I've never really paid attention to the carts going back out again.
I'm curious. That's a lot of fish skin to get rid of.
Well, I mean, there's places to dump it. I mean, there's an entrance to the sewer right around the corner, and then I suppose in Latrine Square, there's a latrine at least that must lead down somewhere. So I don't know. I mean, fish skin disposal is not my business. I do shrunken heads.
Well,
clearly the best around.
Oh yeah,
you could shrink.
Not that son of a bitch Maladar.
Oh man. Okay.
Is he not Maladar?
He's Iswar.
Maladar's his competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Iswar.
Iswar the head shrinker. Apparently Maladar the head shrinker, they have a bad relationship with each other.
I thought Maladar was the head diminutor. nothing.
No, he's the guy that you're supposed to claim made the head.
Oh,
That was rough.
Oh, diminutive. I got it.
It takes
now.
a while. It builds.
Yeah.
Or
Let it
shrinks,
go.
I guess.
It builds like the plague.
I'm working on something with capitator, but I'm not getting the shrink thing out of the Latin memory. So,
Could I have a receipt for these heads, please?
sure, except for the moist one. But he writes you out a flowery
Well,
receipt
just
for Allah's head and hands over the receipt for the
Could
head
you-
that Allah.
could you put it down as 11 gold pieces? Just to read.
Yeah, with this,
Okay.
this
Taxes.
transaction never
That's-
happened. Yeah, taxes, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know how the man is, man. It's just every penny,
All right.
every copper.
I would like to head over to the fishmonger.
Okay.
And since he didn't mention the sewer, I want to just take a look around the street to see if there's like an obvious trail of fish skins, maybe
Ooh, good call.
where it could
Okay.
be just like, maybe there's like a cart does roll out of here with some fish skins, and there's like an obvious fish skin drop point.
The obvious fish skin.
The obvious fish skin drop point, as opposed to the super secret fish skin drop point.
I tell you, I am not fond of this quarter.
No, I mean people. Y'all have your backs to the rest of the square, but one or two people have sort of tagged onto the fact that they're looking at a dwarf, a couple of 3 dwarves and an elf, and
And they're like
Sort
looking at the wanted poster that we have.
so far nobody has seemed to connect Albrecht up with the wanted poster.
We should stop at. That reminds us that we should stop at the barber.
Oh, good
What
point.
do you suggest, sir?
We
I hear violence in the very near future here.
lightning bolt.
The lightning
Right.
bolt? Is that a name of a dwarven haircut? I think so, sir.
I think it needs to be.
On a lightning bolt shaved into my head, going down to the beard.
Except
Yeah,
I
like
think he's talking
your
about the
mutton
beard
chops.
itself.
No, that for shame. I can't believe
Well,
you'd even suggest that.
That's why I thought violence was going to break out. That's what I thought you were going to suggest.
No.
All right, so let me switch to. Oh no, I don't. Wait, do I need to switch? I don't need to switch because you've actually got the viewpoint there and it's been there all along. Okay, so wow, I did not realize that was always up. So you are in the where you are here is you are looking into the alleyway, or rather the camera is looking at you guys standing in the alleyway that leads out of the Plaza of Worms. This is the southern one, not the northern one. Okay, and right around the corner that you are standing at, if you move around here, this is what you guys did to get here.
That's a handsome dog.
That is
Turning
Really
the
is.
corner around. Okay, this leads to a little cul-de-sac.
A cul-de-sac.
There's only one door in and out, and I've actually got it placed in the wrong point. It's right here, close to the where the camera is where the door is, and there's not a door on the other wall. All right, so there is that one near door, and the cul-de-sac goes about 20 feet in, and then there is a hole with an iron grate over the top of it, and then there is a big padlock on the iron grate. Do you want to go and take a look at it?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys move forward into the alleyway, like so.
nothing ominous about this at all.
Not at all. And so
I keep an eye on our 6.
here is the hole leading down. Okay. And who said they were keeping an eye on the 6? Was that Ian?
It's
Gabe.
Gabe.
Gabe did. Okay. So I guess Albrecht is up here. Kurzim up here.
I guess
Just Steve should be in the front though, because
he's
he
tracking.
was tracking.
Yeah.
You're not a bard anymore. You're a dwarf.
We're
going to use your bard figure. You want to be a bard or a giant badger?
Giant badger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Always the badger.
What kind of question is that?
I
goodness.
would go ahead and ask.
Bard or
Okay,
badger?
All right. Oh, but okay. So the giant badger is watching your 6.
I feel
Mastiff's up
safer already.
here. And where are you, just Steve?
In the front, because he's sort of searching for clues.
Okay. So you guys are clustered up there. I have no idea how good our focus is, but you're all looking into the alleyway, except that now you do have somebody watching from behind, which is always good. And you see the padlock. There is the smell coming up from here is not particularly fishy, and you do not see any fish skins or anything like that around here. You gonna do anything, or?
Well, if we're investigating this break. Right?
Okay, so while you're doing that, the door that's in the alleyway opens, which is going to be in between Gabe and the rest of you guys, and a blue slug comes out of the door. And it says, "May I ask what you're doing?"
Sewer inspections.
I don't think so.
That's
No,
literally
man,
It's exactly what we're doing. We're inspecting the sewer grate.
Dude, we've got an architect, little slimy dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wave.
May I ask what you're doing?
Guarding the sewer entrance.
The sewer entrance to what?
The sewer.
The sewer. Yeah, that seemed pretty straightforward. I got that.
That's Albrecht.
You and I, Slug.
Perhaps I'm unfamiliar with these lands of your peoples, but in where I come from, the least valuable place is
I
listening.
think you broke Matt. You broke
Yeah,
him. He's
broke it.
done.
Oh yeah, why do you guard a sewer? He says it's not the contents of the sewer that are being guarded here
It's the idea.
in our line. In our lands. What's being guarded is the fact that you can go places when you're in a sewer, and the Beggars Guild is in charge of that. And I am the representative of the Beggars Guild responsible for guarding the entrance to the other places that you can go via the sewer.
That makes more sense.
Daniel's going to pull out a single silver piece and sort of flick it at the slug from behind. Not in a mean way, just.
It's right in this little slug eye.
Just sticks to him.
I want to just kind of stick to him. He's
Actually, with an amazingly fast movement, you know that they've got the little hand that comes out of the side of the slug. So the hand flashes out, grabs the silver piece, and pulls back again.
I'm satisfied with that.
That was all you're doing, was giving him a silver?
Well, he's part of the Beggars Guild, isn't that what they're for?
And see how good he was at getting that coin when it went airborne?
You can tell that was a practiced hand.
Yeah.
Pseudopod, whatever.
That silver can find a buddy if you let us know where the fish skins go. See that crazy dwarf right there? He's got a hankering.
Hankering. I hanker at the moment.
It's a delicacy among the dwarves.
So
It's really weird.
he says, and all of the things that he's said, or you're hearing them in your minds, you're not hearing him out loud. And he says, well, how many buddies do you think that silver piece might have if I were to tell you where the fish skins go?
Approximately 3. Plus or minus 2.
I think you'd need more than the average on that.
What the little dude is trying to say there, it's really based on the quality of information that we can get.
Well, I can give you more information than just where the fish skins go.
That sounds great.
All right. Well, let's say
How about I have a hurdy-gurdy you might be interested in.
Oh.
Is it
My
used?
friend, what can you tell us?
Yes.
For this, and I hold up 10 gold pieces.
Whoa.
Okay, he says, right.
The family fortune.
He says, do you happen to have a... Let's see, did I draw a map for you guys? Yeah, here we are. Okay. I'm going to switch back out of my face and over to the other camera.
And can we have a Can we also have a receipt, please?
Oh yeah, he gives you a receipt.
All the best beggars do.
Yeah.
It's a charitable donation. We got to write it off for tax purposes.
Receipts of Jordoba.
Listen, we have 100 gold worth of expenses.
Yeah, it's true. We gotta milk that expense account.
What, like, you don't just our
If
per
we
diem
don't
went
use
up.
it, we won't get it for the next mission.
you
how
could buy
budgets
8
work.
more shrunken heads.
Like Soviet Union.
They may ask why the shrunken head, but you know.
It was for the thief. We were that generous.
Oh, there you go. You've got a good one. You got a good one.
Yeah.
All right. So he goes, all right, well, the first thing is that in the morning, deliveries of fish are made to the fishmonger, and nothing ever leaves except for the skinned fish, just fillets. That's all. Nothing ever leaves. No trash. That's the first thing.
That's super weird.
He says the next thing is that this sewer entrance goes down to it's a passageway, but you know you have to be careful because when you're in the sewers, waters do rise and fall. But it can be used to get to a little central pooling point. But then from there, you can take it and get into an area under Tapeworm Alley. Give me tell me more about what information you have, because right now you're up to 5 gold pieces. What do you need to know about?
We know there's a sewer drain off that goes into a pool where this guy, I'll show him the head, drowned. And he had something that was ours that we're trying to recover.
Well, let's see. Drowned. Drowned traveling in the sewers, or sacrificed to Thalasskoptis, or how did he?
Number 2.
Okay. Well, I don't know where the there. I mean, as well. Do you all know that there's a temple of Thalasskoptis roughly below this area where we're standing, where you're standing and I'm lying?
We've heard
We do.
rumors to that effect.
How was such a fantastic secret discovered?
Well, you know, we in the Beggars Guild, we know all kinds of things. Well, I will tell you that one of the little runoffs from the pool room does go into the Temple of Thalasskoptis, and you know they use water. I don't know where it would be, you know, but somewhere in there is a source of running sewer water, which I have no idea why they would have diverted sewer water in there. So that's 5. And so are you interested in the temple in general?
Do you know who delivers the fish to the fishmonger?
Somebody buy, as far as I know, they just buy it on the wharf. It's not. It's different people driving the wagons each time.
Okay. And it's every morning?
Yes.
All right. We're going to make a wagon happen.
Okay. Now he says you've still got 4 gold pieces of worth of information left. It's a tip. I mean, I'll take it as a tip.
How do you...
Do you need to know how to get into the parchment works?
Okay. Well, the parchment works would be there is a weak point in the wall somewhere along Tapeworm Alley, and I don't know where it is, but any residents down there could probably tell you, because occasionally they hear knocking through it. Most of the walls directly around the Tapeworm Alley area are filled with what's called squidge, and squidge is a strange dirt-like substance that the priests of Thalasskoptis are able to use by infusing dirt and rock with water. And so it's very difficult to get through because the squidge is packed around most of the area. Now, that weak point in the wall, if there are people inside knocking and yelling for help, there can't be any squidge guarding it there, or those sounds wouldn't come out. So that brings you up to your 10 gold pieces. For another 3 gold pieces, I can tell you about a place where the fish priests seem to spend more time than normal.
Here's 3 gold. I'd also like a receipt for that.
Okay, he takes out his little hand, and he writes a receipt, and he says, okay, so, all right, so here's where we are. He draws on the map you got. He says, okay, so here's the sewer entrance here. And if you just go around the corner like this, go straight. Let's see. That breaks off like that. Straight down this street here. He says you come to a square, and I won't bother drawing out the rest of it. But the thing about the square is that let's see. All right, right here in the square, there's a latrine, public latrine, so that you'll know which one it is. And the priests of the fish god seem to wander through this square far more than normal, almost as if they're keeping an eye on what's going on in the square. Hopefully not the latrine. Or people on the latrine, but it is a dark sea god, so who knows? But
Indeed.
Slugs don't need latrines. It's part of the slime trail.
Do they walk by this alleyway with the sewer too?
No.
So they only go through the square and turn around and go back.
Well, no. I'm not talking about any kind of a patrol or anything. They walk past this alleyway too. It's just that they always seem to end up in that one and then maybe loop back to where they're going, things like that. So it's a suspicious pattern of movement that the beggars have noticed, but we don't know why. And they do occasionally give us coins, so we're our employees' coins.
Is it the same priests or is it a varied group?
I don't know.
I know humans look alike.
Yeah. Well, it's not. I'm not one of the beggars. We slugs are more in. We're more of a sort of middle level management in the Beggars Guild.
Yeah.
So so I wasn't seeing them directly myself.
All right. We appreciate the information.
Have a wonderful day. He waves his little hand, and he says, and if you do need to get down into the sewers, that'll be another 5 gold pieces.
Appreciate it.
You can't give us like a voucher or something for First
He
time.
did.
It's free.
He gave us receipts.
Oh,
The
then
5
we
gold
can
pieces. I'm assuming the 5 gold pieces is for him opening it when we come back.
I can do that too.
That's an extra 5
the
gold
platinum
pieces?
package.
Yeah, it's like a cruise ship, you know. So yeah, you could pay in advance for both, opening now and opening later.
All right, so I think we can leave. What time of day is it?
It doesn't matter. It can be any type. I guess you met the guy in the morning, so it's about maybe 2 in the afternoon right now.
So are we ready to go elsewhere? Or did anybody would like to look at anything else? I think we stop and get Albrecht a haircut.
Yeah, I want to get lightning bolt. But
Okay.
Or at least just a cape to make him a little bit less obvious.
Capes don't grow back. Hair does.
You're not wrong, but
Yeah, you're not wrong, but you're not right either somehow.
But and are we gonna try the just like a big fish cart approach, and where we all just hide in the fish barrels and
Well,
talk
let's, if you want to get first thing,
I have
haircut.
3 ideas.
First thing, haircut. All right, so the haircut, and let me switch over back to my regular. In a minute.
You could do a trident.
There we are. Okay, so
1, 2, 3.
there is that barber doctor guy right around the corner.
We'll go there.
Okay. So you go over there, and you walk in, and he's wearing one of those plague doctor masks where it's like sort of a crow thing and goggles. And he says, good afternoon. You all look in very, very poor health. Perhaps you need some sort of a picker-upper. You there, elf, you could be taller. Your ears could be pointier. And you there, the dwarf, whichever one of you it is. All of you could use a little bit of extra height, I would say, and your beards could be fluffier. He pulls out
that's always the truth.
I appreciate the beard comments.
It says beard fluffer.
I see he's a trustworthy man.
How much for the beard fluffer? That looks interesting.
1 gold piece. This is 1 dose.
I will take a sample because you insulted us and offered to make us taller. You clearly know nothing about us.
But I know about beards.
All right, well, why don't we get our buddy here a haircut? And depending on your skill at meeting his intense stylistic needs, we may be purchasing some of that.
Look, this stuff is good stuff. If you want to test it, have the elf drink it.
Whoa. I don't want.
How does drinking it fluff your beard?
The elf will have a beard after drinking this.
Oh, maybe we need.
That's how powerful this is.
Oh, I always wanted to grow like at least a soul patch, just to really show how soulful I am.
Well,
You're a soulful soul.
You can be an elf with a soul patch. So he unscrews the thing and he puts 1 drop into a little pipette and he closes the thing back up. He says, all right, dab this on your chin and then you'll be an elf with a soul patch.
Oh, do it. Do it.
And elves don't grow facial hair, so you will be a highly unusual elf.
Do it.
More so than usual. So I have
your shrunken head is like swaying.
Can you grow hair on the shrunken head?
Of course.
No, soul patch. Come on.
Well, I want to do that. Well, before I put any weird substances on my face, I just want to double check because just Steve is also an alchemist,
okay.
A hobbyist, but he just wants to make sure this isn't just gonna like make him break out because that really doesn't help.
Okay.
So you're going to test it on the head?
On the shrunken head?
Yeah.
On the head.
All right. Where you've only got like a little drop. Where are you going to put it on the shrunken head?
I'm going to give the shrunken head a soul patch.
Wait. No. Don't ruin that shrunken head.
Yeah.
We have this really ugly. No, we have this really
man, that was
crummy.
terrible. From
Yeah,
Maladar.
the whole point is to
Yeah.
test the product on the elf. It doesn't do us any good if the elf tests the product on something else. It completely misses the point.
Well, anyways, we're here for a haircut for him.
Okay.
While this is all going on, we just need a haircut for this.
Okay.
For a little dude there.
So
But
while
did you see this horrible shrunken head that Maladar made? Not nearly as good as his first.
I would not go around here saying that you bought a shrunken head from Maladar, because you'll end up with your eyeballs being eaten by crows swinging from a gibbet. There's a guy who works here. There's a guy who works in this square who really, really doesn't like Maladar the head shrinker, and the last person who was walking around saying that they had something that they'd bought from Maladar ended up probably getting their head shrunk. It's probably that halfling there. Is that a halfling?
No, it's a
That's
monkey.
Iswar's work.
Oh, it's a monkey? Okay. Well, there was it was a halfling.
Yeah, I saw this one and I was like, we were really disappointed with our first purchase. I want an authentic shrunken head that really just gets me.
Okay. All right. Well, while Zach is getting his haircut, let's us take a short break. And audience, we're going to have a little intermission here. And we will be back in, 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
Intermission time. And so now is when Zach can take over control of the thing like he did last time.
I've got to entertain the troop.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to. You don't have to entertain the troop. If Zach wants to talk to people, that's what he did last time. So I will be out smoking a cigarette, then I'll be back.
Zach, I'll stay with you and discuss dwarven maneuvers if you'd like.
Maneuvers. Excellent.
I'll get a beer and then I will happily discuss bad decisions.
One of my favorites.
I mean dwarven maneuvers.
What even are we gonna do?
All right. I may have to privately message you what my real plan is, but because I don't want to ruin the surprise. But
ooh, this sounds serious.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there are several maneuvers we could try in this instance. If we get the fish wagon, we could try the crippling minecart, which is always a solid plan, right?
Fair.
We could also kidnap a priest. And we could pose as one, right?
So wait outside, and then I just feel like, I mean, you're supposed to be good at posing as things, but are you?
No.
So
we're dwarves. No, we're not good at posing as things. We're good at bullshitting. There's a big difference.
So you're gonna pose as a priest twice your height.
But I mean, I think if it's not the same priests, it doesn't matter.
I mean,
But-
wait.
Don't they know who their priests are?
You haven't considered posing as two dwarves on top of each other to be like a human priest?
Like straight up Scooby-Doo style it.
Yeah.
Do that with the flaming null.
Well, I thought that's when we put the mastiff on top of a dwarf, but what about two dwarves on top of each other?
I feel like a mastiff is better. It's less expected.
Yeah.
They don't see that coming.
And it's truer to Scooby-Doo. There's someone behind you.
Oh, yeah.
He was all fuzzy too.
It's just like a blurry mass. The audience wants to know what you're drawing, Zach.
And it's hard to... Let's see if I can lift it up.
Flaming Knoll.
Ooh.
It's very wet.
Fancy.
It's a severed head. Let's go this way. Here we go.
That'd be great for a Christmas card.
Severed head, right? Yeah.
That's what I like to put on my Christmas cards is severed heads. That is not what the audience was expecting at all, I don't think.
Right? Maybe a map.
Maybe something cute and fuzzy, like a... Alright, so when Matt gets back, we're gonna have like a fully fledged plan ready to go.
Is that what we're doing?
Oh yeah, because that sounds like us.
All right, let's plan this then. All right, so my pitches are: we swipe a wagon, and we deliver the fish, and then we just blast our way through. I'd like to use my ashtray and a lit cigar to just do some tomfoolery, like knock on a door and leave it there while we're all hiding, and then surprise or some such, or use that and then light them on fire with it, because that's funny too. If there's an ashtray with a smoking cigar in it, and then that guy gets lit on fire. I'd like to say that's irony, but it's not.
But I think the thing of like surprising them, like knocking on the door, delivering a fake fish delivery or a real fish delivery, is the opposite of the setting things on fire plan right away.
No, I'm talking like that's layer 2. Like once so the fish skins go in there and they're dropped straight down. The fishmonger is in cahoots with the fish people.
Yeah.
So that's directly over. That's where the deliveries are. That's where that one side door goes. So I think like we go down for the delivery, we knock on the door. Instead of us there, it's an ashtray with the flaming cigar. They're like, what the is this? And then we jump them. And then we free the prisoners and like create a havoc. Let them be a cover for us while we head deeper in.
Aren't the prisoners downstairs?
Well, the fish. I feel like there's a few holes in this plan.
We'll break them out. The other idea would be to pretend to be a priest, which would be just Steve.
We're assuming that the fish skins get dumped into the fish skin delivery room, which you have to go through the workshop floor where all the guards are to get to the worker room where we can free the workers.
Not if they're working.
That is true. We also, I don't know, do we know for sure, I guess we don't know anything for sure, that the fishmonger is in cahoots with the thing? They might just think they've got a convenient, like, fish skin disposal hole.
Well, I think that we suss that out once we have them near at hand.
When we bash them upside the head and take over?
Yeah. And there's a wagon involved, which, I mean, every plan with a wagon is a good plan.
So how are we going to acquire the fish?
We jump the dudes driving the wagon.
Okay, so the barber is cutting the lightning bolt into the side of Albrecht's hair, and so now to all of the dwarves, Albrecht looks completely different, and the elf is like, it's just Albrecht with a lightning bolt shaved in the side of his head. So,
he's still what are you talking about? I don't know the Albrecht.
So at this point, he's about done with the lightning bolt, and the guy staggers up to the door. He's looks like he's a guard or a fighter or something like that, and he's got this great big slash across his chest, and he says, "Doctor, quick! I need help. I need this stitched up." And the doctor is still snipping away, and he's like, "Suck it up, Buttercup. I've got paying customers here." So he keeps cutting, and the guy sort of slumps down and then doesn't move anymore.
And
then he sort of twitches, and then when he twitches, the doctor's like, "Wait, hold on just a moment," puts down the scissors, runs and starts dragging the guy, runs out of the shop, grabs the guy by the ankles and starts dragging him southward.
He's got a body.
He's going to the head shrinker.
I'm just gonna peek out the door, see where the body's going.
Yeah, Ian's nailed it. He's headed straight for the head shrinker's door, goes in, there's a couple minutes, and he runs back, and he goes, "Okay, we'll finish the haircut." And he clip, finishes the haircut. And just remember, discretion is our watchword.
Discretion.
Is it?
Oh, yes, it is. I'm not going to tell anybody that the dwarf there's got a 500 gold piece bounty was in here.
Oh, that was like a totally different little dude.
He says, "Hey, I am completely discreet." And when he does that, you see little black feathers poking out from underneath the tunic that he's wearing.
He's like a kinky or some shit.
Oh, clever bird.
Fair enough.
You say that out loud?
Like, great. You do that.
Clever bird. Yes, I will say clever bird out loud. And then
he looks at you sidelong. Doesn't say anything.
And then I apply my soul patch balm to see what happens.
To yourself or to the?
To myself at this point.
All right.
See
So
what happens. It burns.
Hair shoots out of your chin to a distance
wonderful.
of about 5 feet.
Whoa!
And
It's like a
it's
full Fu Manchu going.
and it's very, very ropey and durable looking, as if you could climb on this thing. So
Whoa.
5 feet. So
Shoot.
that goes.
You need a whole
that
bottle of
I'll give you 2 gold for 2 of those. 2 bottles of that stuff. I want some.
Yeah, we're gonna find so many uses for this shit.
He said 2.
Unless it like falls out right immediately, in which case I'll be
Yeah.
very disappointed.
I'll give you 2 bottles for 4 gold pieces. He says. I only have 2.
2 bottles for 3 gold pieces.
No, 4 gold pieces total.
Yeah, 3 gold pieces total.
4 total.
So 1 apiece, or 2 for both.
4 total for each, so that's 8.
Wait, so 2 each, so 4 total.
Not for 1. It's gonna be 8 each, so that's 16 gold pieces for the 2.
But I have a discount coupon for 75% off.
Why
I
would
don't
you go in
give
free,
the-
right?
And it
16,
says it doesn't.
16 gold.
I can give you 3.
Oh, that's a shame. You can't even afford 1 of them.
It's the way it works.
Okay, he puts them back in the little cabinet.
Oh,
All right.
oh. 2 gold for 1?
No, they're 8 each.
Ugh. The market for those things has just gone crazy recently. I don't know.
It has. Commodities are like that. They're not the kind of thing you want to invest in if you're not an expert.
Can birds grow hair?
No.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't work on birds.
So what are we doing?
Admiring my new soul patch.
Bartering badly.
For hair growth formula?
The art of the deal. Anyway,
Bank. I think we're ready to go.
All right. So you head back out of the doctor's office into the Plaza of Worms, and where do you go from there?
I think we turn in for the night, right?
yeah,
It's
we've got to
about-
be up early.
All right,
We have plans.
2:30 in the afternoon. So you guys are going to go back to bed, and I take it that you're going to have an early morning waiting for somebody coming from the wharf. Is that the?
I think the plan was to jump a cart of fish.
Okay, so all right. That means now that we're probably going to end up with about halfway in. We're certainly not going to make it all the way through the adventure, but we can keep on going. For
That's
another
suspenseful.
hour or so.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. So you get up early in the morning, head into the Grim Quarter. You have you know which direction the fish wagons are going to be coming from, and what do you do?
We're gonna wave down the first one that we see.
Okay, all right, it stops. The guy goes, "What? I'm on a schedule."
Where are you delivering to?
Fishmonger in the Plaza of Worms. Oh, excuse me.
Uh,
What do you need?
do you own this wagon?
No, I'm a teamster. I rent the wagon.
And
You going,
do you
you
own
going somewhere?
do-
Copper piece each. If you're going somewhere, I'll ride you along. Thing stinks to high heaven, though. It's full of fish.
All right, we'd all
Okay.
like to go.
All right, hop on. You get into the
All
fish
right, we
wagon.
hop on.
All right, you're in the fish wagon.
Like, do we want to get like knee deep in fish or be
I'm
like,
gonna sit next to him.
"Surprise!"
Okay, so Kurzim's gonna go sit up front.
I guess the rest of us. All right. How much seating is there up front, or are the rest of us in the fish?
That's it, Curzon. The rest of you are in the fish.
Dane tries to kind of carefully like hold his beard up before he gets kind of like waist deep in the fish.
Okay.
And if I still have the soul patch, just Steve will do the same.
You've totally got the soul patch still. I mean, you don't know what's going to make that go away.
It's like
chew.
yeah, it's kind of long, surprisingly long at this point.
And
All right.
whip someone with it.
Mm-hmm.
Wrap it around your neck.
Oh, I hope is it prehensile? Because that would be interesting.
No, that would have been more than 8 gold pieces a dose. All right. So,
All right.
you're in the fish. Everybody is. What are you now, Curzon? Or were you sitting up front, or did you say you were going back in the fish?
I'm sitting up front.
Okay. So you guys, are you going to burrow your way under the fish? What are you going to do? Sit on top of the fish?
Wagon, right? What is this guy? Is this guy armed?
No. Well, I mean, he's got a dagger. Everybody's got a
We could
dagger.
just buy his wagon and his fish. Tell him
So
to like retire.
I'm gonna say like, listen, we want to make your delivery for you, and there's a gold in it for you. You just gotta walk away, have a couple drinks.
No, you'd have to do more than that. You'd need to pay me 5 and tie me up and throw me in an alleyway. Otherwise, I wouldn't have an excuse.
All right. Could you give us a receipt?
Yes.
All right. Done.
All right. He writes you out a receipt for tying him up and throwing him in an alleyway.
Yeah, we make it look like we roughed him up a little bit.
No, we're just gonna tie him up.
No, I mean he's gonna have a good story to tell if
He's getting
roughed up.
5 gold out of the deal.
Yes,
Yeah, you
tell
mind if
them-
we rough you up a little bit?
Make sure you put the gold in your boot or something so they.
Yeah.
We're just gonna make it look like you put up a fight, man. We don't
Yeah.
want to make it look like you
No.
just gave up.
Don't need to do that. The other teamsters will grab me in a couple minutes. All I need to do is yell for help, and the next wagon along will stop.
Well, give us
We do this all the time.
Oh, okay, good. Thank
Sell
you.
your shit. Yeah.
All right.
Have a
The
great day.
fish-
Taper
The
mallet.
the fish are insured. It's all good. All right. Okay, so y'all throw him in an alleyway and drive onward with your carton of with your cartload of fish, and he calls out behind you guys to one of the other teamsters, and the next teamster in line stops. But one of the city guard is walking by at that time, and when he sees the teamster stop, he looks forward to where you guys are, and he goes, "Hey, you guys, you're about 40 feet ahead of him."
It's fine. We have a receipt.
The receipt
Yeah.
says for tying me up and throwing me in an alley.
It's his. We don't want to judge him on his kinks, but we're doing the man a favor.
All right, so the city guardsman starts walking towards you.
We'll slow a bit.
Okay.
May we help you?
Just stay here a moment. I want to find out what's going on with this guy in the alleyway.
Sure,
Damn it.
no problem.
Okay, so they pull the guy out of the alleyway, and he's like looking at
Well,
you like,
if he's walking back towards the alleyway, I'm starting to move again.
okay, you start to move again, but it starts, it's a cart, so it sort of creak, starts slowly. You manage to get about, 30 feet, and he turns back and sees, that you're clopping away. You might be able to outrun this guy in the cart. I mean,
We keep
people.
going. I keep going.
All right.
I'm
So
shocked
that's-
there's guards.
Yeah, there's not very many. That's why the teamster didn't even
That-
think.
Just shows up here of all places.
Okay. So, so at top speed, you guys in your fish cart managed to get away from the guard, especially because when he starts trying to follow you, various beggars and bystanders and all kinds of people, because this is the Grim Quarter, sort of keep bumping into him and getting in his way. And so he's fallen further and further behind as you guys are going at a very fast walking pace. And people are noticing, and they're sort of getting out of your way and blocking the way, of the guard. And so you get around a couple of blocks, and you arrive in the Plaza of Worms. And then there's the double door leading into the fishmonger's area.
We will go that way.
Okay. You drive your cart into the double doors, and there is a second set of double doors. You go past the area where he's got the fish for sale. He's got his big display of skinless fish out there, and then the wagon. There is it's a door, but it's raised up about 2 feet on the bottom sill. It's a loading dock, basically, where the fish get shoveled into some area that's further back in the building.
All right. How many? You just see the 2 workers then, the guy in the front and a guy at the loading dock?
There's no guy at the loading dock. There's just a guy in the front. He says, "All right, shovel it all in there."
All right.
All right. As it turns out, there is a shovel in the cart.
Dan will start shoveling.
Okay. So you guys start shoveling fish in there.
So we're gonna when we open it up, we can see in. Where does it look like?
You can see a little ways in. It's got a bunch of boxes and things in there, but the thing that you are able to spot that's the most interesting is that there's basically a ramp or a chute going down underground.
How big a ramp?
It's about 5 feet across. I mean, people could walk down it pretty easily. It's low to the ground. It's only about 2 feet in height.
That's what we want.
All right. So you're shoveling fish. What do you do next?
I'm gonna finish shoveling.
Okay. All of your fish are in there.
How does the ramp look like? It goes really far into the dark.
Yes. Yeah, using you can't tell for certain because you're so far away from it. You're about 30 feet away from it, so you can see that it goes down 30 feet, and you don't see a bottom. So, it goes down.
Yeah, we'll go closer and check it out.
I'll tie a rope around my waist, and I will tie another thing around the outside of the grate.
Okay, well, hang on a second, because you guys are in the sort of the front room of the fishmonger, all right? And then there's this loading dock, which isn't huge, and you've shoveled the fish through into the loading dock. The ramp that you're seeing is through the loading dock across a little warehouse area. So you're standing with somebody watching you still 30 feet away from this ramp, and you'd have to climb into the loading dock to get there.
Wait, I thought the fish and the ramp are in the same place.
Kind of. Let me draw a picture of the building here.
There's like a fresh fish hopper, and then there's like a...
Here's what it is. Okay, there's...
The skin hopper?
Yeah, here's the building that this is all in, okay? You came in through the double doors here, okay? That's how you got in. There is a counter along here, which is where the fish is, and the guy is like here, okay? But there is also right here the loading dock. So basically wagon comes in, fish load through into this part of the building here, okay? And the ramp is right here against the back. And this is a wall.
And we're at the top.
You're at the top. Yeah, you're up here loading fish into the hopper.
Okay.
Albrecht, I think climb in.
Apart from the hopper, does it look like there's any way to get from the ramp room to the loading room to the other room?
No, the only way through is through the loading dock, which in itself is unusual.
Okay, so is there anyone through the hopper? Can we see anyone on the other side?
Not that you can see.
Okay, I will say to Kurzum, maneuver fiancé, and I will go through the hopper and go, my wedding ring, and crawl.
All right,
not again.
You slosh through into this enormous pile of fish, Albrecht, yelling, my wedding ring. And the fishmonger looks over, and then he looks over at his door, sees that there are no customers in the shop, and then just leans back against the wall again.
Okay.
Is
so
he armed?
I see Fish, and do I see the ramp clear with nobody between me and the ramp?
That's right. There's nobody else in this room. You can go over to the ramp. It's clear. And Ian, no, the fishmonger. Well, again, the fishmonger is armed, with a couple of daggers, but that's it. He's just a regular.
Then
I'm gonna go chat with him while he's checking out that back room.
Okay, so you're gonna wander over and chat with the fishmonger. Albrecht, you are able to get past the fish, make sure that there's nobody else in the room, walk over to the ramp, look down the ramp. You can see down about 60 feet with your infravision, and it looks like it does come out into some sort of underground room.
Okay, I'm going to tie up the rope and leap.
Okay, what are you going to tie?
I feel like you should have learned going down the first hole. Maybe you shouldn't do this by yourself.
Well, there's nothing saying that you have to sit there not saying anything at all. There are no rules.
I'm just worried. I'm just worried.
Don't get to talk.
After last
so if
time.
you're gonna talk, you can talk now.
You can stop. What he's saying is, you can stop me. You could stop me any minute now.
I really don't want to. I love.
How many times have I told you to take that off when you're shoveling fish? I'll go in and start shoveling fish with him, or digging through the fish with him, in theory.
Okay, that sort of catches the fishmonger's eye, and he's like, "Hey! Let him find his ring. You stay out of my back room."
He'll be at it all day.
Yeah, well, get out of the back room.
So we're supposed to collect. We're supposed to
Okay.
collect payment for this fish.
He said, "Oh yeah, right." And he takes out a key and starts unlocking a box down there. Albrecht, Albrecht has now finished tying a rope to one of the large boxes that's in there that is reeking of fish, and he is proceeding toward the ramp.
Yeah, is anybody coming? I'm gonna look back.
I'm gonna stealth while this guy's distracted.
Okay.
Just gonna try to sneak it down the fish, or up the fish ramp, down the fish ramp. It is a 21.
All right, a 21 will do that. So yeah, he's busy unlocking the cash box, and you do an FBI roll down into the fish, come up on your feet, skid about 1.5 feet, and then you're there watching Albrecht as he tests the strength of his rope and looks down into the 2-foot hole. What do you do?
Dane. I'm motioning up to Dane.
I'll look to see if the guy's watching, and if when he looks away, I'll kind of slip down there as well.
No, he's got his eye on you, pal.
Oh.
You keep trying to sneak into his back room.
As he's turned, though, like you said, he's bending down to get the cash box.
Yeah, he's already got it open and is starting to come up with money, though.
I'd like to, when he turns around to me, I'd like to try to knock him out. Hopefully.
Okay, he turns around, roll to hit.
Gently with the warhammer.
Okay.
Gently.
I have an 18. That was pretty good.
Okay. Biff, he goes down. In fact, you need to roll some damage and find out how much you did to him with that.
I rolled an 8, so it's only 7 damage, thankfully.
All right. Yeah, he goes down and looks. Well, let's see. You've never seen anybody wounded like that who wasn't dead.
Oh, I really killed him. Damn it.
Yeah, you're pretty sure about that.
Not again. This is just like the donkey cart incident. I mean,
what?
Nothing. All right, Buzz. I'll take what's in the register.
Okay.
Or in the cash box.
All right.
The getting's good.
There's like 300. There are 300 gold pieces in the worth of cash in the cash box.
Oh, yeah.
So Ian,
now I will.
Are you taking that over to the cart?
I'm going to bar the doors because I'm assuming there's like a drop down cross beam something.
The door closed.
The door closes and there's an open closed sign.
I
Don't
wave
put it
to
too close.
Albrecht and just Steve. Oh, just hold on a second. We're on our way. Just there's no.
And I'm gonna help me with the body. I want to drag the body into the fish hopper.
All right, so you're saying that to Gabe. So Gabe is going to help you drag the body into the fish hopper. At this point, Albrecht has gotten down on his back and is in the ramp and is holding the lip of the ramp with his hands preparatory to letting go and exploring the underground complex below. What do you do?
Well, I told him to wait just one gosh darn minute.
Just Steve's gonna hold on to the rope so he doesn't just go.
Okay, so Albrecht releases his hands to slide down. It doesn't go anywhere because you're holding the rope.
Yeah.
I can fly. I can fly.
To make me
One
use my soul
tug.
patch to hold you in place.
What's the Mastiff doing?
Let go. 2 tugs to come down. So I'll.
All right, the Mastiff jumps off of the cart and starts chewing on the fishmonger's body.
All right, good boy.
Not all the fish. No, the fresh person. What
It's
have you
the
been teaching
freshest
the
meat
dog?
there is, though. Actually, you know what? On our way back out, I'm gonna drag this body over to the head shrinker.
Waste not, want not.
Yeah, circle of life.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Maybe he'll give us a discount.
Although
on
to be
future
fair,
purchases.
his head is like the most damaged part of him at this point.
Yeah.
It is. That's going to be a real low price head there.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
All right, so I think we're all going down the ramp now.
All right.
Right.
So Albrecht said, what was it? One pull for pull me back up and 2 for follow me down, something like that.
Yeah, 3 for let go. Sure.
Okay.
Need to cut the rope forever.
3 for cut the rope and go get yourselves new passports. Okay. You. So is it just Albrecht going down first?
I think we're all going down. I will follow Albrecht because.
we're gonna let him go, and he's gonna tug the rope, right? Let us know if we should follow or cut the rope.
Oh no, I'm going because I can't rely on him to start trouble without me.
Okay, so the 2 of you guys holding the rope, and you slide down. The Mastiff immediately jumps into the room through the loading dock, runs over to the ramp, and is about to start barking.
Well, I got the muzzle on the Mastiff.
That's right, you did. Okay, so he
One
goes.
of you
"Rrr, rrr, rrr,
needs
rrr,
to
rrr, rrr."
handle that dog because I'm down here.
I've got
He
animal
listens to
handling.
dwarves.
I'm going to use it.
Oh, you've got animal handling. All right.
I'm a ranger for a reason. I'm just gonna. Hey, don't worry, little buddy. He might have fallen down the hole, but he'll be right back. Who's a good boy? You want a fish? You want a fish? That
right.
sort of thing.
Go ahead. and roll.
It is a 15
All right.
Nice.
So you're like, here, you want a fish, and it sort of sits and eats the fish now.
through the muzzle. He eats around the muzzle. He's a good boy.
He's able to
Baby bird it.
And then they
Okay.
give him some belly rubs and everything. It's adorable.
Okay, so he's
Anyone
happy.
coming down, or do I have to kill everyone for myself?
I
Curzon
believe
came,
Curzon is right behind.
Curzon came down with you. So you guys come into a room that is 30. You're coming into the north wall of a room. It's 30 feet across. You're coming in the middle of the room. It's 40 feet north to south, and there is a corridor leading to the south. Other than that, there is nothing in the room.
Is there a door through the corridor that we can see?
No, the corridor leads direct. It just leads directly out, and it goes further than 60 feet.
Architecturally speaking, what kind of room do we have here?
What you got here? Are you rolling? What's your result?
I rolled a 4.
A 4. Okay. This is a room where clowns sleep.
It's early Squidge Dynasty, right?
Albrecht decides that this is happening.
Now I smell them, the humor and the grease paint. Oh. Well, The clowns.
I check the floor for red noses.
No
Yeah.
Shoes
red
that are
noses.
just too big.
I'm gonna look for makeup because I'm gonna look carefully for makeup because then we can dress ourselves up like clowns and be unseen.
Well, all that you can really tell is that architecturally speaking, your guess is that this room was constructed for clowns to sleep in, but that doesn't mean that there are actually any clowns now. So
It's been remodeled.
Harlequinade.
I'd like to peek
All
down
right.
that hallway.
Are you guys
Okay.
tugging the rope at all?
Yes, I
Give us
will
a
tug the
sign.
rope a couple times.
Right.
Okay. Dane's gonna cast Armor of Agathys and jump down to join you.
he's going to
Or
cast
slide down. Just a armor spell gives him temporary hit points.
armor spell. Okay, yeah, I just didn't understand what you said.
I
Okay, so
said it fast, sorry.
you slide down.
Yep.
And I will follow.
Okay, you're taking the mastiff.
No.
Boy, do you want your dog, little dude?
No, he's protecting our escape.
Okay.
Wait, he is?
Can you guard the hole? Can you guard the hole, little buddy? Who's a good boy?
Okay,
Who's a good
you're
boy?
gonna,
He's a good boy. Yeah.
you already made your animal handling roll, so that you're able to persuade him that his job is to stay here at the top and guard it instead of just follow you as soon as you go down.
You're gonna need to pull up the rope when we tug on it, okay? It's maybe too many directions at once, but just give him a job to do, and
Yeah, he'll guard.
Don't need all the fish, okay?
He
Don't
understands
need all the fish.
guard. Okay, and then you go down, and it's very slippery. This chute. You're going to need to use the rope to get back up it again because it's just slimed over with, fish scales and fish guts and stuff like that. So, and there is kind of a trail of fish guts and stuff that leads down that corridor to the south. But I mean, you sort of expected that. There's no other place for the fish to go once they're slid down here. Ian, you said you were peeking down the corridor. It goes as far as you can see. Are you going to head down a little bit?
I will go, like 10 feet down until I can
Okay.
see a little bit more.
You have to go 10, 20. It turns out that the full length of the corridor is 10, 20, 30, 50, 60, 70, 80 feet. It's an 80-foot long corridor, and then it turns toward the east. It goes, and you can see, peering around that corner, you can see that there's a door in the south wall, as well as the corridor continuing.
So a door in the south, but it continues. All right.
Yep. Here, I will.
I'm gonna listen at the door.
Okay.
I roll at least a 15. Yeah.
Okay.
15.
Let's see what you got here. All right, you hear somebody singing a little song to themselves. And let me go ahead and I will make the wall. While you're doing that, but it's a person singing a little song, sort of a happy little song.
That's a human being singing a song. Anything else about this song? Does it seem like frivolous? Does it seem like something you would sing while you were cutting off someone's toe? What are we talking about?
Just cutting off a toe.
Lime in a coconut thing?
You put the toe in the...
I'm glad we went to the same place. Hey, you brought the toe.
That was more than a little scary, you two. Because I was like,
equipped with his own toes.
he's, because it sure sounded like an imaginary song up until the point that you all both started singing it in unison, and then it sounded like a real song.
Oh, it's real.
Oh, it's very real. It's real like you can't believe.
So let me just make sure I have this right. So it's 10,
actually,
20,
I'm
30,
about
40,
to
50, 60.
70, 80, and then in the eighth 10-foot block it turns.
And then right in that south part, there's a door.
I am about to show you.
I'm waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, you should be, because it's going to be awesome.
It is. And I have my ashtrays in my hand. I'm like ready to make this happen.
Okay, so you are looking down the hallway, and this is what you are seeing. You are looking to the south, okay? And yeah, that's what you see.
Unearthly.
Hmm?
Unprecedented.
Yep.
So I hear a little song. Tell me about this song.
Well, it seems like the sort of song that a person from the country might sing when they were happy.
Can we peek around? Oh, not another collapsing wall on us.
Oh god.
No, I have a
Yes,
special piece for when it's an actual collapsing wall.
So peeking around that corner, what do we see?
Okay.
And we want to make sure we're all together again, right? Right.
And somebody has our who's watching our 6?
I'll keep watching the 6.
Okay.
Okay.
I think both of you are ranged, so.
Yeah.
All right, and then Albrecht, right at the moment, is here by the door. You go up and you look around the corner, and you can see that the corridor continues off into the darkness. It goes for... oh, actually, it only goes 10 feet. All right, this map is wrong. It's much closer than that.
Dun, dun, dun.
More collapsing walls.
10 feet and then a corner.
Yeah. Okay. And so what
I'm gonna test the singing door.
All right. Well, the let's see. You're looking into.
Hold on a second, too.
That room there, and in that room that you're looking at down there, there is a guard standing there, and he's not looking directly at Albrecht, but he looks like he's about to turn his head in this direction. And with that, guys, it is 8 o'clock. It's after 8 o'clock. It's a good place to leave that as a cliffhanger, and we will start with the guard taking a look at you guys next time. How about that?
Sounds good.
No one looks pleased about that, but you know,
Zach looks scary.
But once we get into it all, that's right. It might be a